Hey guys, it's Heather the Crochet Witch. How are you guys doing? Welcome to WiP Weekend number 18. I know that this is technically on a Monday, but this is my weekend, don't forget. Sorry that it's not everybody's, but this is mine. And I have been working this weekend on my project. Also, don't forget I just had a week's vacation, which should imply that I got a lot of work done on my crochet work. But notice the absence of videos. I have gotten other things done. Well, not done. I need to just do like a podcast or a chit chat video. I did some traveling and I went to some concerts and it was a lot of fun. And I had a fun vacation instead of a stay-at-home vacation this time again. So I did not I took my crochet with me. And I don't know why, because I know that whenever I go, because I go to see my friend's band, right? And I actually made friends with the guitarist from one of the bands that opens for them too. And so probably the next show I will have other things to do also, because the opening bands tend to have a little more time to hang out than the main bands. Anyway, so I don't know why I even bothered to bring crochet with me, because I definitely did not have time. And I'm the one driving, so I don't have time because anyway, I didn't have time. So I worked this weekend on it though. And I did actually get more done than usual, which that's, I worked enough to get my big Karen 1-pounder down to, a sizable ball, but still enough that it was caving in, and I wound it. I did get, okay, rewind. I kind of like turned into a chattery vlog for a minute. If you haven't joined in on a WiP weekend before, excuse me, I also have a really dry throat. I'm so unprofessional tonight. Again. If you haven't never joined in on a WiP weekend, basically I found myself in the midst of trying to clean up around here with an overabundance of unfinished WiP projects. I can't even talk. I guess they're products too though, right? In the end, as long as they're finished. And, anyway, to try to give myself the inspiration to finish them. Also, I have inspired a few of you guys to pick up some long neglected WIPs too, which is pretty awesome. I started this little segment it was also inspired from Terry from Yarn Joy podcast. I know she started hers. She has like a WIP wall. She doesn't like dedicate a weekend or anything to it, but she has a WIP wall where she keeps all of her old WIPs and stuff. I try to make sure on each of my weekends that I work on this project so that I dedicate have a dedicated time to it. And most of mine are blankets, big surprise, because I love to do blankets, and I had noticed I have started an awful lot of them that for some reason this last year just didn't end up getting finished, which is also unlike me, and I don't like that. So I wanted to make sure they got finished. So I've inspired you guys to do some finishing up, and you guys hold me accountable, and you guys have given me some great advice when I get stuck on a project and don't know quite what to do with one thing or another to make me want to finish it, or if I just can't do a certain thing with it. Great advice. So I'm glad that I started this with you guys. The project that I am finishing right now is the Fabulous Fall Throw. It's a red heart pattern that I know a couple people do tutorials on for YouTube. I watched Mikey from the Crochet Crowd. I have linked that down below, I'm pretty certain. And I'll show you the square as it sits that I've worked up from the pattern. And what I've noticed about it, I don't like all the openness of it, which is why I know that I put it down. I didn't want to finish any of them, but I did have this collection of the older Impeccable yarn. I'll show you the little ball ends instead of finding the bag. I have another skein of each of these colors to use, but I have basically worked up 2 or 3 squares from each one of these. I had this, and it's like a fall color theme, because you know me. I have this sage looking green, or olivey sage looking green. I have this crimson looking, I think it's called burgundy, actually, red color. I have this color, which is called gold. I remember that. I have pumpkin. And I have coffee or chocolate. They're not very creatively named, so I know it's something like that. And then I have, even though it doesn't fully match them all, I have falling leaves, which is the variegated. Okay. And that's the one I only got 2 out of because it has less yarn. And so I have these leftover bits, and I have another ball of all the solids, and I have 2 more balls of the falling leaves. Okay. That got me 1 skein of each, got me 3 of each of these squares. And this is what I have finished for this weekend. Is I finished the brown, so I had that much left over. And I had already made 1 square of it, so I got the other 2 squares done. And out of my pretty violet color, which this was the part that you guys advised me on, you guys said, why don't you back it with, well, some people said fabric. I can't sew, so that was kind of not really an option for me. Well, I can hand sew. I can't sew with a machine. That was not really an option that I wanted to go down. So I decided to make solid granny squares, and I'm also trying to bear in mind not buy anything. I did end up buying another one of these. This is Karen Jumbo in, I think it's called something violet. Let me see. This is the one I bought. Deep violet. But I had 2 of these originally. I've already used one, and this is my second one. And then I bought a third one because I already know that I'm going to need it. So, but so I got 2 of these big ones out of my collection and gone. And then I'm going to be getting all of this Michaels yarn, all this impeccable yarn out of my collection and gone, and finishing a WiP why am I saying that? Project. But I also, with the purple, so I made solid granny squares and decided, so I backed them, and here's like the burgundy one backed. But what I did was, when I finished the solid granny square, I just crocheted them together in one piece, and that ended up, see how they're kind of like in need of blocking right now? They're kind of scrunched up, and it blocks it. It happened to be like the right size. So it's like extra thick and squishy and padded basically. And then it blocked the square. So it's not, I didn't sew it down or tack it down with any extra yarn, but it's blocked. And then when I join them together, I only have the 1 stitch to go through to join them all together, because you guys know I'm going to use the continuous join to do this. I'm not going to sew it. I'm not going to do anything that has a ridge. It's just what I'm going to do. So I got these 3 squares finished and backed. And then I got these 2 squares made. And that's what I've got done for the weekend. Now, what I also did, let me add these to my pile too, because this makes 15 of them backed, plus the 2 that are not yet backed, so 17 squares. And I'm going to insert a picture here. I laid them out on my floor, and it's an okay size. I do want it to be a little bit bigger, but my aim is to not have like a king size blanket, even though I want to like roll up in it and everything. I do want to at least like be able to cuddle up under it. So what you see in the picture is 17 squares. laid out, and I think I'm going to make 13 more squares. And since I have basically double the yarn that I've put into this, I have enough to do that. I just have to figure out which colors that I specifically want so I don't make extra squares and waste time doing it. And then, yeah, and then I'm just ready to crochet it together, which is the easier part in my opinion, especially with the continuous join. You guys know I'm a fan. I will never not be a fan. You're probably all sick of hearing about the continuous join, but it's my favorite join in the whole world. I will always be saying that. I'm sure I don't think I'll ever find anything I like more. So that is what I have so far. And yeah, I mean, it's coming along pretty nicely. I still forgot to put up in the Facebook group a thread, but I see some of you guys have been posting your WIPs that you're completing, which I really love looking at. So definitely keep doing that. And the more you do it, the more I will try to remember to put this thread up to begin with. I'm so bad at that, and I don't know why. Like, I have no excuse at this point. Just a bad Facebook moderator too, I guess. But yeah, anyway. So that being said, I'm actually keeping it to a fairly short video this time. How about that? Mostly because I have to go work on some more stuff and play catch up from my adventures this week, because I go back to work in like 2 days. So, all right. So this is not the last that you'll see of me. All right. I will talk to you guys later, but definitely let me know what you're working on. And all right, I'll talk to you later. I love you guys. Bye.